Well, I figured I'd get on here and maybe just let you watch me enjoy a cigar. How'd you like that? Like 10, 15 minutes of that. Just me just puffing on a cigar. Anyways, this is a pretty good cigar, actually. It's a genuine, fire cured, I should say Kentucky. It says at the top. Kentucky. Genuine, fire cured. Muwat. Yeah. Muwat. Muwat. I guess. I don't know if I know. But it's a pretty good cigar. Fire cured. I don't know. I mean, it stays together well. Burns well. Got a nice flavor. Hell, everything about it's nice. So heck yeah. You know what? Before I peel this off, maybe I should show it to you because I'll probably tear it in half. See if you can see this. I don't know if you can see it or not. There we go. There she is. Hopefully you saw that. I tried to do it slow enough, and so you can read it. Yeah, I guess I didn't tear it too bad. I did a pretty decent job. So, anyways, folks, I didn't get in here. I didn't get on here to talk about cigars. I could, I suppose. Probably not too many people smoke cigars, I suppose. I don't know. But yeah, I do. I enjoy them. I don't even know where I don't even know where I got these. Today, I figured we could talk a little bit about everybody's favorite subject, the survival, the what do they call those? The preppers, the big survivalist prepper. Okay, because I kind of like to make fun of it because a lot of it's ridiculous. But you got to bug in and bug out, and bug it in. It depends where you're at. There's a lot of things there. You just got to figure out how safe you are or how safe you're not. All this is pretty much a personal outlook on things. You just got to figure it out for yourself. But I will tell you a few things. The prepper that goes, oh yeah, I got myself like 100-pound backpack, and it's like, man, how far do you plan on going? You know, I mean, if you're even if you're on a level surface and it's paved and it's nicely paved, that's a lot of fucking weight after, oh shit, I wouldn't even say a mile, half a mile. You're probably like, son of a bitch. You're just, fidgeting all over and want to drop that son of a bitch. Always travel as light as you can possibly travel. And I always like these people. Oh, I got my survival food. Okay. So what you gonna do? You have this big backpack with all this gear in it, and you're gonna be carrying what, two pounds of two 5-gallon pails of 25-year life food. You're gonna load all your kids down with big heavy backpacks and have them carrying food, and the wife and everybody. You gotta put a backpack on the dog. It's like, come on, be realistic. I mean, you want to travel quick, swift, light. So you always need your paracord. You never know what the hell you're gonna use it for. That's what's so nice about it. Some good. I'd get the Gorilla tape. Some good tape. Not just regular like duct tape, but good Gorilla tape. Well, roll or two of that. And some lightweight canvases. Real lightweight stuff that's waterproof. I mean, those things don't weigh anything. And, your stakes, things like that, you can improvise on things like that. You can tie things to trees. You can tie things to roots. Rocks. I mean, all kinds of things. And that's what you got your paracord for. Always have a variety of fire starters. Your ferro rod, you strike, and a Bic lighter. Waterproof matches. Your regular matches. I mean, always have not just one, but several different things. Because fire, keeping yourself warm, and cooking too. I mean, sterilizing water. Always have a few. Oh, the water. Gosh, now it's slipping my mind. That sterilized water, make it iodine pills or they make those other ones too. You put it in the water, for like 30 minutes, somewhere an hour, and then you just shake it up and let it sit, and it kills all the crap in it. Have that stuff. Make sure you have a powder, for your feet and extra dry socks, and it's always nice to have a good pair of a Gore-Tex type or waterproof boots. At least the ones that come up over your ankles to help give you some ankle support. And break those things in. Don't just think, I'll just wear them. Break them in. Make them comfortable. See if you would like them. I mean, you may not like them and go, these boots suck, and go out and buy a pair that fit you well. Because you get off path, on mud, rock, gravel, grass. It doesn't matter. On hills, uneven terrain. It's going to make a big difference, especially if you're carrying a pack. And like I said, you don't want to be carrying a heavy pack. You want your bare minimum. Carry stuff in your pack that some of those they're little hydration things you can just add to water. They even make the hydration water things where you just rip the top off and you can drink them. Because they have, electrolytes and stuff like that, so you don't get dehydrated. I mean, a lot of people think, just water. No, there's more to just water, hydration than just water. There's a lot of, I mean, magnesium, potassium, and zinc. I mean, there's a lot of other things there. Your body sweats it out, doesn't replenish it. The food doesn't really replenish it. So it's good to have that stuff. And like I said, a good knife, good fixed blade knife. I was trying to think if I had one out here. I might somewhere, I don't know. Well, I probably got one in my truck. But I'm too lazy to walk over there. I could, but I don't want to. So, yeah, wear a belt. Belts are good for many different things, especially if you have to make a tourniquet or something. I mean, I'm just going off the top of my head, real quick here. And some MREs are nice because, they're just the freeze-dried stuff's fine too. You could pack some of that stuff. But an important thing to do is start to learn what type of roots and things you can eat that are out in the wild. A lot of people trap. Trapping is actually kind of, I think, there for a while. I don't know in your areas. A lot of you probably like, trap what? It's like, yeah, I know. Kind of hard to do that in an apartment building. Or, whatever. But for a long time there, it just seemed like it just kind of fell to the wayside. Wasn't real popular. And I noticed here in the last, in my area, probably last maybe year and a half, 2 years, trapping's taken off again. And that's good to know because, the snares and the traps and things you use, how you set them up, where you set them up, all make a difference. I should have brought out Cold Steel makes it. I'm sure others make it too, but it's a nice knife. It's fixed blade. It's more like a spear, about so long, and it's got the end is made for a good like broom handle, good heavy broom handle. You could probably cut a nice if you found a nice piece of oak or ash or something, a good hardwood. You'd whittle the end down and stick it in there, and put a pin in it to hold the spear on. You can spear stuff. You ever come across something, and it wants to give you a little lip, just run it through. That became lunch. I know trapping is one of those things where it takes time to learn. And I don't know how many people that might even know that. Go to YouTube. I mean, watch a lot of YouTube stuff. You may never do it, but you got an idea of how it's done. Because it's nice to be able to catch, anything. A squirrel, a rabbit, beaver, all kinds of things. Gives you a little bit of iron to your system. So yeah, there's a lot of things like that. All I'm saying is you should hone your skills while you still can. I've talked about this before in older videos. I was a little better prepared. But, I mean, a lot of things that these people want you to carry and this and that stuff, go to YouTube. Watch some of the videos. And remember, the lighter, the better. You got to carry it. You got to carry that on your back. You don't want it too damn heavy. Because you tear up a knee, an ankle, a hip, wrench your back, it could be pretty bad. And you might be down for a while. And that could happen without a pack, too. But it's one of those things where, most people know how to make a splint. It's always nice to have when you're out, get a walking stick because it kind of helps stabilize you. Going up or down, or, along a ridge or something. If you really want to find out what it's like, go in your house, find the main breaker, and shut it off. Sit like that in your house for, I don't know, an hour or two, go turn it back on. Next day or a week from then, go out and turn it off for, 5 or 6 hours. And learn what you can do to survive for like a if you have to sit in your house or apartment. If you have like Crisco, what the hell is that stuff? It's vegetable shortening, I think. That stuff sometimes it go rancid. Anything with soybean oil and crap like that or oils in it, and the stuff's got a very short life. I should say very short, maybe a year. In that range, maybe a year and a half, and then the stuff starts going rancid. You don't want to eat it. Make you sick. But the one good thing about the Crisco, I think it's called Crisco, or just vegetable shortening in general, buy some wick. Go on Amazon or whatever, or I don't know, maybe Joann Fabrics, uh, Michaels, places like that. They might even have the wick there. And you just take something and, poke a hole in the stuff and shove that wick down in there. It's a candle. Maybe put 3 or 4 wicks in it. It'll make light. And if you build yourself a little thing inside your house, like when you was little kids, you built tents and things like that. You just got to be careful you don't start a fire. But a lot of times people, when you use a kid, you take the cushions off the couch or the mattress off the side of your bed, you slide it down, you crawl inside there, and it kept you warmer. Take a bunch of blankets and build it up and slide inside there like a cocoon, People, there's no reason to freeze. And if you have something like that, it might help keep you a little warmer. And especially if you take a pan, or let's try to think of something like metal that you could put some holes in and put it over the top of it. That way the flame's not actually exposed, but the pan gets hot, radiates heat. You got some holes so it still has oxygen. Just don't touch it. You might burn yourself. There's all kinds of things you can do. Water. You got a water heater. Drains usually at the bottom. There'll probably be some sediment and lime, things like that come out. But you could filter that with a strainer. You got those in the kitchen. A sock, nylon. Put it over the thing. The water will come out and hold back the stuff. You could fill bottles that way. And it may sound gross, but if you really had to, you could go in the toilet, back of the toilet, and get water out of there. I don't know, you'd probably still want to purify that. You don't want to find out the hard way. And the thing of it is, they make those water purifiers. They make the cheaper ones where it's like a pitcher, and they got an insert in them, and you can put that, water in there, and it'll filter stuff out. And you can get your little better ones, like Aqua Rains and Berkeys and stuff like that. And if you don't want to mess with that expense, that gets costly. Just buy the filters. Just go online and find the filters. Buy just the filters. And you can take a bucket. Just go and buy a plastic bucket or a steel, and you could drill a hole in the bottom of the bucket the size of the filter outlet, and you can screw that on, and you make your own. Do you need a spigot on the side? You could buy one. You could go to the hardware store and just buy like a regular spigot. Make sure you put some type of washer on it, that'll seal it up so it doesn't leak. But yeah, you could do that. That way you can go outside and you got water out of a puddle. Anything. Out of an old swimming pool or whatever. Just you could filter it at least. You have water to drink. They make those straws too. That you can drink it right out of a puddle if you need to, or a stream, or a creek, or stuff like that. Usually, well, I don't know how many of you have horses, but horses don't drink shit water. They won't. So if a horse will drink it, it's probably pretty good. It's probably pretty safe to drink. Horses are picky. So, yeah, and there's a lot of things like that. Just think about it. Because if something actually does happen, and that's the stuff that, man, nobody counts on. Nobody thinks. Nobody goes, oh, it's going to happen, because you don't know. I mean, they call it the Black Swan event, or, oh, October surprise. How many times have you heard that horse shit? What happens? Nothing. You know, this is why I get tired of listening to a lot of these preppers and people. You always come up with some stupid ass prediction all the time, and that's all it is. Just stupid ass stuff. You know, you just want to be practical on things. Don't go overboard. Don't let them scare you. Like I said, you don't need a grocery store in your basement. I mean, if you got one, hey, great. If you feel you need one, wonderful. You know your circumstances better than I. I mean, for all you know, you're like, yeah, if anything happens, come over here. Well, hell, you might have, I don't know, a couple kids, some grandkids, or you know what I'm saying. You might have 4 or 5 extra people there. Maybe you need a grocery store in your basement. Like I said, it's you know your circumstances better than anyone. Bottled water, man, that stuff keeps like forever. You know. So yeah, you want to use your common sense on this and not go clear overboard. Even if you're in a place, the deserts and snowy cold places, it's always nice to have a bag with a survival kit in it. A couple of those, and they're cheap. Those space blankets, they're silver and they fold up to like hell, about the size of that. And I'd put a couple of those in there, or 3. Christ, they don't take up any space. They don't weigh anything. You know, and some military rations, whatever you like, And I suggest, before you go, I'll buy a case of this. Buy one of these and buy one of those. Try it. And you go, that's pretty nasty. I don't think I like that. Because who the hell wants to have heartburn or feel like crap because they ate something that was like, man, that's just nasty. So, I'm just saying, try it before you buy it. I mean, bulk. It may sound good, but it may not taste good. I think the stuff's gotten a lot better than it was. Before, some of that stuff was, man, that stuff that was, years ago, it was like gross. It's like, who could eat this shit? You know? Yeah, I think it's gotten better. So, yeah, you got to just remember your circumstances and practice your skills. If you have a tent, take it out back. And not just in nice weather, but adverse weather, like wind. Because you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn how to tie a tent down. You're going to make sure how to stake it down so it doesn't blow away. And especially if it's raining out too. You want to make sure how to do this and that because you want to make sure, you're not sopping wet. Nothing worse than being sopping wet in the cold and the wind blowing and you get hypothermia. You can set in pretty quick. Yeah, and it's good to watch a lot of these guys on television. I mean, the thing of it is they go out for a night maybe or a couple days and that's it. And they go back to their car or back to their house or whatever. If you're actually having to quote bug out or bug in, it's not going to be over anytime soon. I mean, I hope it never comes to that. But you can't be too sure of things. Things happen. Earthquakes happen. Well, look what happened to the Hurricane Helen down there. I mean, those people were cut off. Of course, they were a lot of. I don't know if I don't know. You can call them, I mean, a lot of like country, backwoods, back hilly people, stuff like that. They were more self-sufficient than most, anyways. So to them, it was like, yeah, it's kind of an inconvenience, but man, they weathered the storm, and that's all you need to do is weather the storm, and your loved ones. I mean, if it's cold out, like I said, take one room, just one room in your house. If you don't want to go outside, and shut the registers off, close the door, let the room get cold. Make sure it doesn't have like pipes or something in it, or running through the wall or something. You don't want to freeze any pipes. If it gets that cold, that's pretty cold though. And that way too, figure out how to stay warm. Go in there. Don't get yourself sick or hypothermia or something, trying to prove something to yourself. But figure out how to stay warm. And plus too, you got to figure out a way to keep your mind active and so on and so forth, because most of it's mental. People that lose it mentally, it doesn't matter. You can be the most physically fit person in the world and lose it mentally, and you're no good to yourself or anyone else, for that matter. You actually become a hindrance. So, yeah, I just figured I'd get on there and throw a few things out like that. And I know a lot of people, oh, I got my ammo. Ammo's heavy. Okay, go pack all your ammo. I don't want to carry it. Screw that. You know. So, yeah. So, you folks, you take care out there, and like I said, watch some of the survivalist stuff. Bush craft and things like that. Subscribe to like I'm sure they probably have that stuff on, like maybe Facebook or Instagram or places. Subscribe to it. Just watch it. I mean, can you buy books? Yeah, you can buy books, but I mean, yeah, they're not cheap. Well, you can probably learn most of the stuff you need right there on whatever for free. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say. You want to know what it's like? My God, I could go shut the breaker off right now and it'd be pitch black in here. And you wouldn't hear me. And you wouldn't see me. Yeah, I could do that. Well, I know this does have a battery, but yeah, I guess it does have a battery. But the internet would go out. So, wouldn't have the internet. Then you wouldn't be able to see or hear me. That might be a good thing. So, I know I kind of make light of things like this, but I mean, it's serious stuff, and it scares people. It's. But think about this: we're here. Billions of people are on the planet. There's people in Africa and places in India and China stuff. They're really poor, and they don't have the luxuries we have, and they're still surviving. Our forefathers didn't have our luxuries. I mean, turn of the century, maybe. I mean, maybe you're in a larger city, you had some stuff was coming out, but most of the country, I mean, a lot of your rural areas, farms and stuff, hell, went until the 40s and 50s until they started getting electricity. I mean, think about that. That wasn't that long ago. So, yeah. I mean, and turn of the century, think about that. A lot of houses didn't have electricity or plumbing or water or any of that. They had outhouses and privies and stuff, and they survived. This is all I'm getting at. They didn't have the luxuries we have today, and they still survived. Your ancestors survived, and the proof is you're here. Okay? you're here. So don't think it's, oh God, it's terrible, you can't do it. You can do it. They did it. Well, honor them by keep going, buddy. Keep going. So you folks take care now, okay?